would you? Look at this place. Very unique. Should be fun. Let's get it. Sneak on by all the gear. Get at. Whew. There we go. What is up, MFers, and welcome to a very unique fishing outing this afternoon in the Rip and Raft. As you can see right here, I'm out in the mini boat. I am exploring this pond right here. Definitely could have bank fished here, but I think having the boat will let me cover a little bit more water. So the reason I came out here was I actually heard from some buddies that there's some good fish in here, and a lot of those guys don't throw big swim baits or anything like that. So hoping for the opportunity to catch some giant fish that I've never seen baits like I'm gonna be throwing. Oh, winded. I had to drag my damn boat like 200 yards through the grass. Glad I got the old baby Powerhouse lithium battery, because that thing weighs like 15 pounds and it's gonna have more than enough power to blast me around this little lake the entire day. So this is a public lake, but I had to fill out a waiver and pay $15 to fish here. Kind of a weird type of deal. I'm not really gonna explain why I had to fill that out because it'll kind of give away the location. I don't like to do that with the lakes I fish. But as I just launched the boat, I am definitely noticing this water is at least 4-foot visibility. It's like a bluish green tint. There's like some posts or something down there. I don't even know what the heck they are, but it looks like it could absolutely hold some big fish. I brought 6 rods, a couple swim bait rods over here, if you can see it within the shadows there, a topwater frog rod or whatever topwaters we throw. Of course, had to have a spinning rod because I knew the water was clean here, jerk bait rod, and then something I can just throw a little bit of everything on, Texas rig, little swim bait, stuff like that. It's gonna be a little exploratory mission. I've heard there's giant ones in here. Let's see what lives here, guys. It's gonna be a badass time. I think I'm gonna start kind of checking out some of this bank habitat. I'm gonna fish it with this little 6 cents draw. It is a see-through bait, a transparent color draw. I've caught a lot of fish on this one, but I might switch up to an even bigger bait just to see what lives here. Like I said, I don't know what the hell lives here. People say big bass. I don't know if that means 4-pound bass or 12-pound bass. I would like to catch either. It is almost dead calm. The sun is high and the water's clean. And so while I want to break this down and fish this bank habitat, it might be smarter, even though we don't have electronic, to back out, fish some of these points and stuff. And if we can find anything underwater, I don't have any electronics today. Don't have anything set up in the little Rip and Raft quite yet. So for now, we're just eyeballing everything, which is fun too. Oh, we got a follower. Pretty decent. Oh, 2 followers actually. They were both a couple pounds. They definitely weren't gigantors, but that's a start. I was about to just pack it in and freaking start throwing a big worm, dragging it on the bottom, because this lake drops off super steep from the bank. So with this high sun and everything and clean water in this time of year, I was just about to say, let's make a move and try to find a point or a hump or something, a high spot, and throw a big worm. Or I brought a rod, spinning rod, to throw drop shot and stuff on. So that's gonna happen here shortly. But it was good to see a fish, 2 fish actually, follow. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's some type of man-made habitat under the water right here. I think it's, maybe it's not man-made. It looks like a tree, but there's ropes coming out from the bank, which makes me think that they sunk that there on purpose. I don't care how it got there. It was good to see some fish. There are fish in here. Deal. Oh, get it. Look at that fish. Oh, there's 2. Dang it. Those things were so hot on it. He freaking blasted it and didn't get hooked up. All right, we're really starting to get some signs of fish now. And we got a little ripple on the water, which I really like in this ultra clean water. Talked about this last night on the Serious Angler podcast I was on. We were talking big baits, and the draw of something that is this large, which relatively isn't that big actually when we're talking big swim baits, but this thing will draw fish and let you see where the fish are at in your cover, which is a great fish finder for me here at a lake that I've never been to before, that I don't have any electronics on. That's why I'm fishing the bank with a big bait. And these are areas that I can come back to a little bit later on, even if I don't catch these fish, which I'd be surprised if I didn't, because that one headshotted it and just didn't get hooked. But these are areas I can come back to with that drop shot worm, or that I'm really thinking about tying on a ridge worm, which should be really good in this clean water. But this helps you find areas that are productive that have a lot of fish in them, even if you don't catch the fish. Especially those guys that are, you know, stuck without electronics. Even bank fishermen, this is a great way to see what productive areas are. because it's almost impossible for a big fish especially to not at least follow this bait and let you know that he's there. And then bang, you come back in there, flip your little shaky head in that lay down, bam. Seeing this every single spot I go to, these big standing timber tree guys that have been chopped down. I don't think they're man-made. They've been put, they were here and then they chopped them and flooded the lake, clearly. But great habitat. It's making me wish I had like a weedless swim bait I could fish deep and drag kind of lower through the column. I need to kind of see in the box what I got. I'll show you what I brought in a little bit. But I really just threw shit in last second. I didn't know what to expect when I got here. But I think dragging like maybe a whale even down there on a keel weighted hook, just fishing it slow. It's the middle of the day, like I keep saying, probably not the best feeding mood right now. So being able to get that bait down to them so they don't have to chase it up off there quite so far would probably be ideal. Doesn't seem to be anything. Whenever I find some bank cover, a little lay down like this, I've been throwing it at all the shade of them and I haven't had a single follow. It's all just been on the chopped off timber stuff. I'm gonna make a lap around the lake here, and after that I got an idea of 2 different combos we're gonna pick up, and I think we're really gonna start laying the wood to them. Both of them are just like jumping out in my head right now. There we go. Yeah, I had my draw stopped and that guy freaking smacked it. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Not a big bud, but it's a draw eating bud. Deal. He got hooked and didn't know what to do. He just kind of came in. Again, this bait will draw them. No pun intended. Pun intended. Whatever. Better than any other bait. And doesn't have to be big fish. Would that fish have eaten a drop shot? Who knows? But it did eat this guy. Heck yeah, we're on the board. That's what's up. That's the size I've been seeing follow like half of my casts lately in this spot. You guys might not be able to see this, but there's an underwater point thing that comes out. We might actually be able to fire out off the deep side of it too and get one come up. But that was the first cast I've really slowed down with my draw and didn't just chop it the whole way back in. And he liked that action. Guess I'm gonna do fish a little slower from now on. Okay. Oh, we saw the boat. Damn it, that was a big one. Probably a 3.5 pounder. I felt one ticket on that cast way earlier in the cast, and I figured there's probably one still on. If you ever feel one bump it, definitely don't just set the hook. Wait for them to mush up. That one almost came back and got it. A lot of times they will come back and get it. Do it. The fish was just biting the head of the bait. I see this so often, these clean water fisheries. They're like not even opening their mouth all the way. It's like they're just trying to feel if it's real or not. Obviously that's the good thing about using a reaction bait that's small, like a lipless crankbait or a chatterbait or something like that, or a square bill, when you can get them to react and they just open their mouth and taste it. Well, they can't help but get the hooks, but on these big baits a lot of times, if they're in that 3-pound range like that one, they can pop it without getting the hook. And sometimes they swipe at it and they get the hook anyway. Still getting good feedback, I like that. Okay, only been out about a half hour now. Had a bunch of follows on that draw. I have 2 combos in mind that I really think are gonna absolutely wail on them, even after not making a cast with anything else. Now, given the conditions, which are bluebird, we have pretty much blue skies, hardly any cloud cover, slick calm, clean water, a little bit of bank grass, and a little bit of this offshore stumpy shrubbery stuff. The 2 baits that I'm really gonna dial in on and throw out right now are this drop shot. Little Mr. Pinky on my little 6 cents drop shot rod. I got a 3/8 ounce drop shot weight, one of those tungsten drop shots from 6 cents. And it's just a little robo worm rebarb hook, little robo worm on there. It's gonna get through a lot of that cover. It's gonna remain weedless, and it's going to appeal to fish that are not super active, but will come a ways to eat it. Something about that pink worm. And staying on the same worm kick, the old 6 cents ridge worm. This, as you notice, does not have the typical curly tail. It's more natural, which makes it absolutely deadly. I've caught so many more fish on it in this clean water. It's a great presentation in muddy water too for pressured fish that have seen a million 10-inch worms. But I'm gonna get out on some of this offshore points, some of the sharper drop banks, and some of that timber. I'm gonna start dragging these around. I can about guarantee you we're gonna start catching some. Oh, drop shot fish. Uh-oh, that's the first tree I've fished with it. He felt like he was about 4 inches long, but it was a bite. Got that one. And I just broke that one off. That was not 4 inches long. That was a good fish. I had a feeling my leader was cooked. And it appears that it is. Too much grinding through brush piles. Good job, Ben. Okay, 2 hours later, got a new drop shot tied on with a new leader. So on the ride here, I didn't strap my rods down the best, apparently, and noticed that my leader had been frayed off and I just had a little bit of leader left. And when I looked at the line, I was like, there's a couple nicks in it, but I want to go fish. I guess that'll just be a problem for future Ben. Well, guess what, guys? Future Ben is present Ben. Present Ben. And present Ben wants to kick past Ben right in the nuts. I digress. At least they ate it. Maybe we got something going now. Let's rip some. Yahtzee. Oh yeah. You bet. Geez, this guy's pulling the boat. He's so big. He's pulling the boat. He's so big. Just kidding. He's not big at all. But hey, he's pretty. He's a clean water bass. And he likes old Mr. Pinkworm. I found a little high spot out here in the middle. Man, he was just pressure hooked. He ain't a big one. It's a pretty little clean water bass. But I found a little high spot with some grass on it. And that's a perfect spot for this little drop shot worm. And a worm like this, you know, you're gonna have that spinning rod in your hand. It's a boring presentation throwing that damn drop shot. But for those of you guys that haven't thrown it much, less is more. You do not want to sit there and freaking hop it up and down and shake it. No, this worm, if I can ever get it untangled, this worm right here is got so much action because it's a hand pour that in the water, I mean, that tail does all the work you need. So you just hold it. I mean, you get it. You get out there, you can drag it real slow, kind of work it slow through that cover, whether it be a tree or brush or grass, like we're fishing on this hump right here, even just a sand transition. I can see sand and grass right there. I'm just holding it with a little bit of slack in my line. And every once in a while, I'll move it a foot and see if one's on it. And you'll either feel thunk, or like that one, it's just gonna be weight. Yahtzee. Yahtzee. Yeah. Now we are back where we started. We're doing exactly what I told you guys we could do. And that is, we're going back through the area where we had bites and follows on the glide that didn't hook up. And those are the only areas of the lake that we fished that we've seen any damn fish. And while they're not big, they're fun. And we're going back through, and we're probably catching some of the same fish we had follow that big bait. So on a lake that you never fished before, where you have no electronics and you literally know 0 spots, that big bait did a lot more than just catch bigger fish. Dirty cricket taker. Yahtzee, what do we got here? Timothy Run-A-Lot. Yeah, I don't know if this lake's got any giants in it, guys. I don't know, but this is a fun way to catch them. And a beautiful place too. Clean water in the middle of the damn city. Cool, very cool. Hopefully you guys are getting a pretty good gist of how I'm working this worm too. Imparting a lot of action. I cast it out and I do this. Watch my line, hold a semi-slack bow in it. After a while I'll lift up and I'll pull it. I'll just lift up to see if there's one on it. One just tapped it right there. So in his mouth, he's got it. Oh no! There's a lot of little tiny pecks down there too. Now that fish told us something that we just caught right there. He ate it and was under the boat in no time. And almost always that means that there's more fish in the area, because when there's a lot of fish in an area, the fish won't just grab that bait and stay there. They'll take it and they will run straight sideways with it. That's something that you can always think about when you're fishing and trying to find productive areas. Oh, I had one. Now I freaking probably got a rope, but That's something you guys can definitely learn no matter where you're fishing or what time of year. If a fish takes it and runs straight sideways with it, the majority of the time I feel like it's because there's a lot of fish in the area. Now it can mean that the fish is just smart and trying to shake the hook and he immediately felt the hook and wants to take off. That happens too. Or you weren't paying attention. Yay, it wasn't a rope. There we go. There we go. That one might be better. Probably not, but maybe. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's our best fish of the day for sure. Heck yeah. God, these fish fight hard. Dang. Easy. Easy, bud. This fish thinks he's 10 pounds and he's 3. Maybe not even. Oh no, he's 3. Maybe. Dude, chill. Deal. Best fish of the day. Freaking fighting dudes. Heck yeah. Little drop shot worm fish. Well, I think my GoPro just overheating as I caught this fish was a reminder that conditions are tough, but not impossible. Get this guy back in the water. Don't want to leave him out too long. It's the best fish we caught today. It's not much, but we've seen some bigger ones and I'm not going to complain at this brand new body of water. But I've pretty much figured out that it's going to be a grind. We're fishing mid-afternoon and it's 95 degrees outside and it's slick, calm, and sunny. But that drop shot has absolutely been the key. Fishing visible brush, which is just it's a great late summer pattern no matter where you're at in the country. And we're not done yet. We got some time. I don't really want to get stuck in rush hour traffic here in the H-Town, but I'll do it if it means catch some more fish. Let's get back to it. Get out of that tree. Oh no. Ah, no. That felt good. Dang it. We lost him. Well, that was a good fish out in the middle on one of them trees. There we go. What do we got here? Oh shoot. What up, bud? Hey, didn't even destroy my stuff. Well, he was sitting on whatever those are in the water. I don't even know. But it's offshore habitat that I can see from the surface. So I pitched my dropping shot at it and he said, thanks, bud. Appreciate you. Yahtzee. 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 What's up, bud? God, these bass have such pretty lateral lines coming out of that clean water. They almost look like spots. Look how fat this guy is. See the thickness from the top, you know it's thick. Gotta love it. Made an adjustment, guys. It's not the prettiest way to catch them, it's not the coolest way to catch them, but right now it's probably the best way to catch them. That's what I found, given the circumstances.